surely the portrayal of climate change being a disaster is a hoax. I mean, you say, quote, lamentably, there are many climate change researchers who've exaggerated the potential health risks due to global warming while magnifying the probable risks of health and mortality as a result of warmer temperatures. Many underrate or simply ignore the possible health benefits of moderate warming. I mean, carbon dioxide is the source of all plant life. We're never told that. They want to talk about carbon, which is the stuff coming out of those smokestacks. I mean, the debate is really dishonest, surely.
Well, the problem is that there is no debate.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is the biggest problem. And I'm not claiming to know the ins and outs of climate science or the climate system, which is extremely complex. And I'm making no strong claims on the climate science issue. But what I certainly believe is that there's a lack of scrutiny, there's a lack of proper discussion within the scientific community, and it's the people shouting loudest and screaming fire that are basically eliminating any other voice of caution
Absolutely.
and of balance, and that's the problem.
Absolutely. And they won't debate. These people won't come on this program, Benny Peiser. We're talking now endlessly in this country every other day, do you mind, about wind farms and solar panels all over the place. And you make the point, and I quote you, the more wind farms we have, the more expensive the energy costs. You say there is no evidence that these wind turbines are getting cheaper, and a lot of evidence to show the more of them we have, the higher the costs. And in relation to solar panels, you make the point, perhaps in the Sahara, where no one lives, having these huge tens of miles of solar panels may make sense. Obviously, they don't work at night. They leave a huge ecological footprint. Now, in all this global warming debate, Dr Benny Peiser, about climate change, renewable energy stuff, there has been no risk analysis whatsoever of solar panels. You say they're not adequately recycled. Quote, often old panels are not recycled, just dumped. Dig a hole, dump them, cover the hole. The countries with a lot of sun, particularly in the developing world, don't have the recycling facilities, and they don't really care. None of this is discussed, and there's not even an opportunity to have that discussion, is there?
Well, we know that renewables, because they generate so little electricity compared to a proper power plant, have a huge environmental footprint. So in other words, you need huge amounts of land, countryside, areas to cover wind farms or solar farms. So the impact of these huge farms is enormous on the environment. And of course, those negative impacts are never really properly assessed or acknowledged. But that's not really the main problem with renewables. The main problem is that you cannot power an industrial society, a developed society, on renewables. That simply doesn't work. You need all the kind of infrastructure and all the backup, which is extremely expensive, which is why energy prices are so high in Europe.